I'm Tommy Gunn from Extreme Spin, and I'm going to show you how to bind. If you are unfamiliar with new school yo-yos, you'd probably think that this is what happens when you throw a yo-yo down. You throw it down, it sleeps, and it comes back up when you want it to. But new school yo-yos are pretty much like this. That is because we make them extremely unresponsive, because that's the way we like them. So, how do you get something like this to come back up? You do what's called a bind, which is that. The one I just did is a backspin bind, which I'll explain in a minute. So the most basic bind you can do is just from a trapeze. This is how people originally started doing it. Start from a trapeze, and then you just drop your freehand string just into the gap, like that. So, like that. But what people were always doing is they would just do their tricks, land back on the trapeze, and then do a bind, which is very not smooth. So what you can do is you can be spinning it around and then drop it, which is a lot better. And that way, people might not even realize that you're doing a bind because it's so fast and just all in one motion like that. But I actually am doing a bind. I'm not just popping it off. This is what people used to do when they used responsive yo-yos. Here's a bind. Here's a flyaway dismount, bind. So they look kind of the same. Some yo-yos, like the one I'm using right now, are so unresponsive that even a normal bind isn't enough to get them to return. So what I like to do is a backspin bind, and what a backspin bind means is that if you're on a normal trapeze, the yo-yo, from my point of view, is spinning clockwise, which means it's trying to roll to my right, towards my throw hand. So that means it's trying to roll away from this string, and thus it does not wind up. At least it wouldn't if it's, I mean, it doesn't now, and if it was more responsive it wouldn't either, because it's trying to roll away from the big bunch of string. But a backspin is when it's on the opposite side, like this. So now it is rolling towards this bunch of string on my left hand, but it's so unresponsive that it still can stay fine. So a backspin bind is when you just do a bind the same way, but now it's trying to roll up all this string, and that way it binds much easier. So here are a couple of different backspin binds you can do. You can either start from a trapeze, then flip it onto the back of the string so your arms are crossed, and then you basically just uncross your arms and drop this string off your freehand. So at speed, it's like this. And that's relatively smooth. Now, another way you can do it is flipping it back, but actually letting it go all the way around, and then flipping the whole thing over like that. Now, of course, these binds are all side style. If you want to do it front style, then if you want to do a backspin bind, you just flip it back up and so those are just the basics of binding. Those are just the very standard ones that you can do. You can make up your own. You can figure out ways to flow them into the tricks you're doing. And there are other videos out there that show whole different types of binds, and you can ask other people and they probably have some different ones that they do as well. Visit extremespin.com to get some yo-yos and other skill toys. If you need help with any tricks, ask a question on the Extreme Spin forum. For more videos, go to the T3 page on centrifugal force at extremespin.org/yoyoblog/T3.